Alright, let's talk about this. Let's first address Astrid. Yeah, who cares? Astrid isn't even in a book series the movies are based on. She isn't voiced by a white person in the show, which of course people are just ignoring, and as the director himself said, this is not historical fact, it's a fantasy movie. Not to mention the original series still exists. It's not like it's being erased. You could still watch it. So if you don't like one character being swapped, then don't watch it.
I want my money back! I've seen this before!
Hey guys, Blazie here, and welcome to this kind of reaction review thing of the How to Train Your Dragon live action movie teaser trailer. Whew, that's a lot of words. So, I've talked about the live action movie before and my thoughts on it, and in short, I'm excited by the prospect of a live action movie because I just love dragons and I love the world. As I said, the original still exists, so if it's just more dragon stuff, I'm okay with that. I even said the Arena live show they did had the perfect live action version of Toothless they should use. It looks like Toothless, but is slightly updated for a live action like version. I really love it, and so now we finally got a look at it all with the first teaser. So yes, it is just a teaser, not a full trailer, but they gave us a look at Hiccup and Toothless, which is the most important part. So I'm not going to watch the trailer with you guys. If you want to watch it, then do so yourself. I'd rather not deal with copyright again. Copyright is not fun, especially when it comes to trailers. Trailers can be just really annoying with copyright. But I still want to go over it, so I'm going to do it in my own kind of way, my own fashion. We first see the islands, and then we get our first look at Stoic, once again played by Gerard Butler, which is great they got the voice actor for this part, because I think he is like the right person for the job. And for the most part, he looks fine, I guess. I have kind of a couple little problems, but that is from, translating it from cartoon to live action. It doesn't always work. The big kind of beard that he has doesn't quite work in live action, so, yeah, I got some reservations about it. And then we have Mason Thames as Hiccup, which I really liked him in the Black Phone horror-y kind of thriller movie. So I really enjoyed that movie, so I'm excited to see what he does for Hiccup. And generally, I do think he looks good for the role. I think generally Mason Thames is perfect casting for Hiccup. So we do have some similar scenes in the trailer and sites like Dragon Island, the training arena, and Hiccup and Stoic talking in their home that he can't fight dragons, and I have to say, I really hate the line delivery here.
Dad, I can't kill dragons.
But you will.
It might be a different tone in the movie, but here in the trailer, it's really bad. It's just bad to me. But you will. It's just bad. It's bad. But we also do get a quick shot of all the dragons, and you can see some familiar ones, and at this point, they are looking pretty good. I'm looking forward to seeing their full models and all that flying around. But of course, let's talk about the most important aspect of this movie. Toothless. We first see him in a familiar scene. Toothless opening his eyes looks amazing. It looks great. They put so much detail in his eyes, and just like, that first look of him was a good choice. The detail in his eye is just perfect. But I do have one huge issue, and that is that it's all CGI. I think it should have been done with a puppet. Like, this whole part could have easily done with a realistic looking puppet, because Toothless doesn't move all that much at this moment. He's all tied up and such. So it could have been done with a realistic looking puppet. Just like how Jurassic Park had a mix of puppetry and CGI, and those movies work really well because of it. Movies today rely way too much on CGI without understanding it still doesn't look real. It really sucks that puppetry and such is just a dying art form now, because again, it could have been used here to make him look real, for him to actually be there. because of the CGI, there's a lot of times where I just don't feel anything because nothing's actually there. Like, it still doesn't look bad. It's really not all that bad. Like, it's generally good CGI for the most part. And then it quickly goes into another familiar scene. So then you kind of question, is the whole live action version going to be a shot-for-shot recreation? I myself don't hate that idea. I know a lot of people don't like it, but it's a different kind of medium. Like, the original animation still exists, as I said, so it's not like the worst thing in the world to have this kind of different version, much like the stage shows. You know, they're just different versions of the same thing. That's fine. As long as you're not going to delete and erase everything about the original stuff, still you can have both versions in tandem. And, like, I don't mind, like, the shot of him walking up to him. I think that shot looks really good. I think the CGI looks good there. But then this shot here, the way his eyes looks terrible. Like, something is really off with the way they did the eyes. It just looks like Uncanny Valley kind of thing, I guess. Like, I don't completely hate it, but it's just I guess unfinished, or just something about the lighting or something. Like, I hope they look at that and change it around. Like, there's something wrong with it. I don't like it. And then, like, he gets up looking like he's going to do like the sit down thing, but then he just normally sits, which takes away from his personality. I'm guessing, oh, well, it's supposed to be a wheeled dragon. A wheeled dragon wouldn't sit like that. Which, yeah, I hate this change, to be honest. Because, like, as we find out in the second movie, Hiccup and Toothless are the same age. AKA, Toothless is a teenager here. He's a young dragon, and he's not evil. He's not a bad dragon. He's a big, lovable doofus dragon. He's just scared and doesn't trust anyone. But he has this kind of weird, goofy kind of personality inside him. That's why he sits up like that. And so taking that scene away does change his personality. And clearly does show the difference between animation and the live action kind of CGI crap where you don't have those kind of personalities on show, because you focus way too much on trying to make them realistic instead of just making them fun. It's also one of the best figures I have on Toothless, of him sitting up and smiling, but this is kind of just, typical of live action. It takes away what animation does. It makes it fun. It takes away this kind of quirkiness where characters will act in a way that isn't, like, typical of what you come to expect from, like, a live action thing. So, like, as long as this is just one moment, and, like, again, him sitting up like that was, like, the moment you kind of go, oh, this is, like, a weird kind of goofy dragon. He's not, like, a big scary thing. He's actually, like, kind of silly. That's the moment where that happens. So because it's the first thing he does that makes you laugh when you see Toothless. So again, it does bother me. It really does bother me. Please change this, please. But just hopefully this is just the one kind of moment I kind of took away from, like, his personality. Hopefully it's just this moment, because then if it's not, like, throughout the whole movie they change his personality, then whatever, I guess. And then of course we get the hand scene, and that's fine to me. I'll need to see it in full, like, will he do the hesitation thing, which was an animation mistake, but it fitted the scene so well they kept it in. So will they kind of add it? So anyway, so that's, like, the end of a, like, little teaser trailer. So my thoughts. I don't hate it, but I need more. I need to see more. Now, the director who helped direct the original movie and made 2 and 3 obviously loves this franchise and these characters, so I have high hopes in that regard. Apparently, I think he said that, like, DreamWorks was going to do this, and so he kind of came on board. So it wasn't like he planned this. It sounds like he kind of heard about it and kind of went, okay, let me do it. Which is good, that the original director is involved. He does sound like he's excited for it and loves these characters, loves this world. So in that sense, that's great compared to, you know, The Lion King and Aladdin. I don't know, just every other live action thing that has happened. It's been different people, but who obviously are just there for a paycheck. Not that this guy probably isn't as well, but, you know, I'm just saying that he definitely likes these characters. I do think the director is the right person for the job. I mean, obviously, I would love Chris Sanders, who also created the first movie. I would also love him to be involved, and I think he's just a producer or whatever, but, you know, I'd like him to be the director, but it is what it is. Which then he has also said that it's not a shot-for-shot remake. It just has those key moments for the fans. Okay, so that's good. That's good. I'm curious what that means then. Like, they just showed off those key moments in the teaser to get people hyped, and I get it. And I am hyped because, yeah, I love dragons, and I'm looking forward to the flying scenes. That's what I need to see in the trailer. Like this shot in the original. If they do that, I'll be in heaven. And yeah, I recently watched the Pete's Dragon movie for the first time since seeing it in cinemas, and it's still gorgeous and has this amazing gorgeous shot in it. If you didn't see, I did do a review of that movie. That was my previous video, go check it out. And it has this gorgeous shot in it, so if the movie has this kind of like effects in it, then it will be a good looking dragon movie. So yeah, I have talked about this part before, but I think Toothless should have looked like the original stage show version, as I kind of mentioned. So, like, nowadays I have a proper looking version for the stage show, but the original stage show attempted a live action version, and honestly, I love them, and I love how Toothless looks, because I can clearly still tell it's Toothless, but live action. Giving him the colour on the scales is, like, obviously to help him stand out for the crowd, but I also think it would help with this live action because of the way the lighting is. He's going to be dark. He's going to be hard to kind of see because they're going to try and hide a lot of the CGI. Let's be real here. You know, the colors are going to be kind of dull because they don't know how to do coloring in today's CGI. And then the way they did his skin, I guess, looks, you know, lizard-y, I guess. But, you know, again, like, it would have been nice to show a lot more texture on him. Like, he's got all these, like, wrinkles on his nose, and it looks kind of a little bit weird. Like, I feel like he needed a lot more just texture and scales and just all these little bumps and all that kind of stuff that the stage show has that gives him, you know, that kind of personality and kind of just this different look that's still Toothless. I really think I should have just changed up some of the colours and parts to make him easier to see and just change it up enough so he's just not the exact same character. Literally, they're both CGI, but one is more animated and the other is still animated but just not as much. Kinda, it's really dumb. I really do think the idea of a live action How to Train Your Dragon is fine, but I think they should have just made whole new characters on a separate island with new dragons, but also dragons we know. It could be like in the past or something, so there are night furies around. Maybe even explore their extinction, their disappearance. So you could have the main characters still have like a night fury, but just not Toothless. Oh, like, okay, here's an idea. The whole movie is protecting a Night Fury egg. And, like, the main character is working with this other Night Fury to protect it and such, because he's much like Hiccup. He doesn't think dragons are evil. And dun dun dun, it turns out to be Toothless in the egg, and he was working with his dad. There you go, DreamWorks. There's your movie. That's what you should have done. Stuff like that. That's why I'm a writer. I come up with good ideas. Or at least I think so. I do think when it comes to like live action stuff, you should just do it in the same world, but, you know, change things up. And I think How to Train Dragon would have been perfect for a movie to be in that same world, same dragons and everything, just all new characters, new dragons, and all this stuff just be in that same world. And I think people wouldn't be mad. I think people would kind of appreciate it that you changed everything, that you're not doing the same story and all that, but you're not also then gotta give us the characters looking all different or something like that. It's all just, you know, new things. I think that could have worked. I think in short, I'm on board, but hugely skeptical. You know, I was on board for like I guess we'll find out eventually. I'm looking forward to seeing the full trailer instead of just like this teaser. If anything, as the director has said, it's not just a redo, and I want to know what's new. So what about you guys? Are you excited for a live action How to Train Your Dragon, or do you think my idea was better? Let me know in the comments below, and also please do give this video a like and subscribe to my channel because I love you if you do. Hit that bell icon, and VitoFox says, be who you want to be. Alright guys, bye for now.